In this video, we'll be taking a look at 3 NFL games happening on November 24, 2024, and providing you with free team picks and total picks for each one of those games, so 6 picks in total. Welcome back to Cash Out Sports. Let's dive right into it. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe and to click the bell icon to get notified as soon as these videos get released, so that you have more time to plan out your bets as we provide these videos on a daily basis. I can guarantee that you'll have all the important information that you'll need on these 3 NFL games after fully watching this video. One more thing before we start: if you would like to gain access to our best exclusive sports picks to take your journey to the next level, then check out our Patreon in the link down below, where we offer our best single picks, parlay picks, and much more. Now let's get started. Dallas Cowboys versus Washington Commanders. A National Football Conference East rivalry will take center stage this Sunday as the Dallas Cowboys, who currently sit at 3-7, face off against the Washington Commanders, who hold a 7-4 record. This game marks the first meeting of the season between these two teams, with a rematch scheduled for Week 18. The Cowboys are coming off a disappointing performance on Monday night, where they fell to the Houston Texans by a score of 34-10, failing to cover the 7.5-point spread as home underdogs. Meanwhile, the Commanders played last Thursday and suffered a road loss to the Philadelphia Eagles, 26-18, also failing to cover as 4.5-point underdogs. The Washington Commanders have faced tough opposition over the past 2 weeks, squaring off against 2 of the NFL's elite teams. 2 weeks ago, they narrowly lost to the 8-2 Pittsburgh Steelers, and last week they fought hard but ultimately fell short, 26-18, against the Philadelphia Eagles. Despite the setbacks, this week provides an opportunity to rebound against a struggling Dallas team. The Cowboys' run defense has been a glaring weakness, as they allow an average of 151 rushing yards per game, the second most in the league. This vulnerability sets the stage for Washington's Brian Robinson Jr. to have a significant impact, delivering big gains on the ground. Dallas also leads the league in rushing touchdowns allowed and has given up the second most first downs on the ground, making them particularly susceptible to the Commanders' rushing attack. The Dallas Cowboys are currently in disarray and have been underperforming for much of the season. They are on a 5-game losing streak and have failed to cover the spread in each of those contests. Regardless of how oddsmakers adjust the lines, it is difficult to have confidence in Dallas given their recent form. Conversely, the Washington Commanders have shown resilience despite recent losses to elite teams like the Steelers and Eagles. With these two teams trending in opposite directions, the Washington Commanders to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. The Cowboys will likely adopt a deliberate and calculated game plan to counter the dynamic playmaking ability of Commanders quarterback Jaden Daniels. Rather than engaging in a high-scoring shootout, Dallas will aim to slow the game down and limit possessions. Their defense, which is gradually returning to full strength, features athletic linebackers capable of shadowing Daniels and forcing him into passing situations. On offense, Dallas will seek to establish a methodical pace, favoring a low-scoring contest such as 10-7 rather than a high-octane affair like 49-42. Cooper Rush, who was forced to air it out in last week's loss after falling behind early, is unlikely to be asked to carry the offense through frequent passing in this matchup. The Washington Commanders, while potent on offense, have shown signs of slowing down recently, managing only 18 points in their most recent game against Philadelphia. Similarly, the Cowboys' offensive struggles have been evident, scoring just 10 points last week and only 6 in the game prior. While Dallas is expected to perform slightly better in this matchup, the overall offensive limitations for both teams point toward a low-scoring affair. With that in mind, under the projected total is our full game total pick. Tampa Bay Buccaneers versus New York Giants. 2 National Football Conference teams face off on Sunday afternoon when the Tampa Bay Buccaneers visit the New York Giants. Both squads are coming off their bye weeks, providing extra preparation time. The last time these teams met was in 2021, a game where Tampa Bay triumphed with a commanding 20-point win on their home field. Most recently, the Buccaneers dropped a narrow home contest against the San Francisco 49ers, losing 23-20 but covering the spread as 6.5-point underdogs. Meanwhile, the Giants played overseas in Munich in their last outing, falling 20-17 to the Carolina Panthers despite entering the game as 6.5-point favorites. Despite being a road team with a losing record, Tampa Bay is the more favorable pick in this matchup. The Giants appear to have made a deliberate decision to prioritize their future over their present season. Winning games would only decrease their chances of securing a high draft pick, which is critical for their long-term rebuild. This approach is reflected in their choice of starting quarterback. While Drew Lock is objectively a better option than Tommy DeVito. The team opted for DeVito, signaling they are content with the potential for additional losses. The Giants' offense is currently the league's lowest scoring unit, and turning to DeVito is unlikely to spark significant improvement. In contrast, the Buccaneers have endured a challenging schedule recently, facing some of the league's strongest teams, the Chiefs, Ravens, Falcons, and 49ers. With quarterback Baker Mayfield still healthy and having already thrown 24 touchdowns this season, Tampa Bay should be able to sustain drives and exploit the Giants' struggles, especially considering New York's frequent 3-and-outs. While quarterback changes can sometimes provide a spark to struggling teams, as was the case for the Raiders and Panthers earlier this season, the Giants' issues seem far too deep to be resolved by a mere lineup adjustment. The Buccaneers still have hope, thanks to the unpredictable nature of the National Football Conference South, a division where even sub-.500 teams remain in contention. This lingering chance at a playoff berth gives Tampa Bay added motivation, while the Giants appear to be focused solely on next season. Currently, New York has lost 5 consecutive games, both straight up and against the spread. If the Buccaneers have any aspirations of turning their season around, this game is a pivotal starting point. Ultimately, the Buccaneers should find a way to bounce back, while the Giants appear to be setting their sights on the future. This contest isn't likely to be a marquee matchup, as both teams have struggled this season. However, Tampa Bay is in a better overall position and retains a slim chance of sneaking into the playoff picture. On the other hand, New York seems fully committed to tanking, as evidenced by their current 0-5 straight up and against the spread records over their last 5 games. So the Tampa Bay Buccaneers to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. While weather conditions aren't expected to pose significant challenges for scoring on Sunday, it's difficult to envision the Giants finding offensive success. Tommy DeVito, their new quarterback, has struggled under pressure, posting a league-worst pressure-to-sack rate of nearly 40% last season. If Tampa Bay's defense can generate consistent pressure, it's unlikely that DeVito will be able to lead an effective passing attack. As a result, New York's coaching staff is likely to rely on a conservative game plan, emphasizing short, methodical drives that aim to eat up the clock rather than aggressively pursue points. This approach may limit turnovers but will also restrict scoring opportunities, especially given the Giants' inability to sustain longer drives. On the other side, the Buccaneers will aim to secure a clean performance and exit MetLife Stadium with minimal injuries. The Giants' offense, ranked as the worst in the league, has failed to score more than 23 points in any of their last 5 games, all losses. Their struggles will be compounded by Tampa Bay's strong defensive front, anchored by Vita Vea, who will likely neutralize New York's running game. DeVito's first start will likely feature safe, short passes and screen plays aimed at involving players like Neighbors, but this conservative approach will do little to generate points. For the Buccaneers, injuries to key playmakers like Chris Godwin and potentially Mike Evans could limit their offensive ceiling, leaving Baker Mayfield to rely on his tight end and a ground game featuring Irving and White. Even with these limitations, Tampa Bay should still have the edge in what is shaping up to be a low-scoring affair. Under the projected total is our full game total pick. Kansas City Chiefs versus Carolina Panthers. On Sunday afternoon, the Kansas City Chiefs, currently boasting a 9-1 record and sitting comfortably at the top of the American Football Conference West, will travel to Charlotte, North Carolina to face off against the Carolina Panthers. The Panthers, holding a 3-7 record and occupying the 4th spot in the National Football Conference South, will host this non-conference showdown at Bank of America Stadium. For the Chiefs, the game presents an opportunity to recover from their first loss of the 2024 season, which came at the hands of the Buffalo Bills last weekend. Meanwhile, the Panthers, refreshed from a bye week, will aim to build momentum at home. The last time these two teams faced each other, the Chiefs emerged victorious in a close 33-31 battle during the 2020-2021 season, a matchup held in Kansas City. The legendary 1972 Miami Dolphins can once again celebrate as their perfect season record remains unchallenged for another year. Kansas City's hopes of an unbeaten campaign came to an end in Week 11 as quarterback Patrick Mahomes and his team fell short in a highly anticipated game against Josh Allen and the Buffalo Bills. That contest was marked by its intensity and build-up, features that may be less prominent in the Chiefs' Week 12 matchup against the struggling Panthers. Despite their recent loss, the Chiefs enter Sunday's game as heavy favorites, with a double-digit point spread that reflects the disparity between the two teams. Mahomes, supported by standout players like Travis Kelce, Xavier Worthy, Kareem Hunt, and newly acquired wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins, has consistently demonstrated his ability to excel regardless of personnel changes. Facing a Panthers squad with significant defensive weaknesses, Mahomes may find this to be one of his least challenging games of the season. The Panthers enter Week 12 on a modest upswing, having secured a dramatic overtime victory against the New York Giants in Week 10's so-called Tankathon Bowl. That matchup, held in Germany, featured two struggling 2-7 teams and ended with Carolina sealing the win on a game-winning field goal. Remarkably, this victory marked the Panthers' second consecutive win, a rare feat for a team that has not achieved back-to-back victories since 2021. This modest momentum may explain why the point spread for Sunday's game sits its current number instead of an even larger margin. However, with Kansas City's superior offense and the Panthers' porous run defense, the Chiefs are widely expected to dominate. Kareem Hunt, in particular, seems poised to exploit Carolina's vulnerabilities on the ground, so the Kansas City Chiefs to win and cover the spread as favorites is our full game side pick. Offensively, the Panthers rank near the bottom of the league in several critical metrics, including yards per game and points scored. Scoring quickly or in significant bunches has proven elusive for Carolina, as evidenced by their failure to exceed 20 points in 5 of their last 6 outings. Compounding their offensive struggles, they now face a Kansas City defense that ranks among the NFL's elite in multiple categories. The Chiefs have limited their opponents to 20 points or fewer in 6 of their last 8 games overall and in 4 of their 5 road matchups this season. In their most recent victory over the New York Giants, the Panthers only managed to contribute 37 total points to the scoreboard. All indicators point toward a low-scoring contest in Charlotte this weekend. Given the strength of Kansas City's defense and Carolina's inability to generate offense consistently, under the projected total is our full game total pick. That's all for now, so if you have any other games you would like reviewed, then leave a comment down below with the game you would like analyzed. Subscribe to our channel, leave a like on this video, and we'll get to it as soon as we possibly can. We would also love to hear your opinion on the picks presented to you in this video, whether you agree or disagree with them, so leave a comment down below and do let us know.